I see them as torture methods. The punishments is not really. I don't consider those punishments. I guess growing up in the South, like, you get a butt whooping, I respect that. Like, all right, spare the rod, spoil the child. But there's a fine line between, disciplinary actions and going a little bit way too far,
What was their way too far?
The basement, locking you in there. You're down there. No one knows you're down there except for the people in the house. It's up to those people, to make sure everything's all right. And then that's not going all right, and then you're kind of lost. You sit in the corner and weigh out what means the most. On the Richter scale. It was horrible, horrific in a sense.
Do you remember the first time they put you down there?
Yeah, I didn't like it at first.
Well, of course not.
Yeah, you're away from everyone. It's kind of bad. It gets to that point where you're like an animal. Well, you kind of feel like an animal. How, let's say you're about to feed like a wolf. Just put an animal out there, and he's being nice. No one wants to come up and trust you, gets the bread and then go. It was like I felt like a wild animal who never got any type of affection after a while. So I didn't really trust anybody.
What was the longest period you think that they put you down there?
Probably, I don't know, a couple months.
At a time?
Yeah, definitely. I had chances to come out or whatever, but they would always provoke and instigate a situation, just to make up something for me to go back down there. And then that kept happening and happening and happening. So that was the period where I just stayed down there.
What did they do? They brought you food?
Yeah, I still don't, to this day, don't eat peas, carrots, or corn. I hate those vegetables. Like,
That's what they brought you?
yeah, you grow up with a childhood fear of what you don't like, and vegetables is like my kryptonite. So I had to eat that, and they knew that I wouldn't eat it. Like, they would do things that they knew were challenging for me, and they used that against, against my will. So when it got dark down there, it was dark, like it's in the basement. So you have like 3 little windows, but you can't really see anything out of that, especially if the back deck is like going over like most of it, So when it got dark down there, it got dark like nothing, You could just hear everyone like laughing or doing whatever upstairs, whatever's happening, you're just stuck, I hated it. And that was when I started questioning like everything, like what's going through these people's head, you know what I mean? Like, take away my toys or something like that, like I don't think, me being young in the basement, that's not gonna teach me nothing,
And what would they tell you why they were doing that?
There was no explanation. They were like, well, you need to learn. Well, I was like, locking me in a room with the lights turned off is not really gonna help me do anything, I don't know, there's something totally messed up about it.
Yeah, get away.
I just started, like I told you, how I started disassociating with myself and not attaching myself to the cause. I just got in the fact, it was like survival mode at that point. Because there were some days like you eat the same thing over and over again, you get tired of it. And bread and water especially, like that's not filling, I mean, it does the trick, but that's not, come on,
Was there a bathroom down there or not?
No, there are some times where I'd be locked down there and they go out and I have to use the bathroom in the corner, and the room stank like piss, so it was really horrible. If I came out, there was like a motion sensor, so that'd go off.
Was it locked? The door locked?
Yeah, there was at one point where it was locked and one point where it was open. So even if I were to open the door, like the motion sensor would go off, or if I were to walk under it or anything, like it'd go off. And I hated that.
You said you started to kind of acting out.
Yeah, like I wasn't having it, not being down there. No, I forgot what I did one day. They sent me to Hillcrest. I think I said I'm gonna do something to somebody if y'all don't get me out of here. Like, I at that point, like I was just fed up, you know, and I wish he had that same drive as well. 'Cause my brother, he's not aggressive or anything. Like, he's a good kid. I'm not saying that because he's my brother. He just is. He doesn't, like fighting or any of that type of stuff. And I feel like if I never did what I did, like how long, would I be in his position? Would it be way worse, And that's what it gets me. I feel like I wish he would have did that, but I'm thankful for the fact that he's still okay, because it could have been worse. Like I keep that in mind, and the decisions I make from now on, I'll definitely keep that in mind, because it could have been worse. So I'm just thankful it wasn't. So yeah.
Anything you want to ask?